I think I've been split-minded about AI. Should I be excited about the world it might bring, or fearful that it plunges me into a dystopian nightmare? In my recent podcast with my dad, which is essentially a psychotherapy session, I reviewed my personal journey as I voyaged across the sea of my imagination. I completely understand this isn't for anyone to listen to, and getting through 2 hours of talking isn't expected, but one of the big ideas that came through for me was whilst I was exploring the concept of AI and my relationship with it in the world we're in now. Everywhere I look, false images are appearing on screens. Ideas are created to steal me away from the people around me. And smart technologies are gathering data, observing, and trying to make sense of what it really is to be human. I realize I too am reflecting on this question. I'm at a unique point in my journey in the fact that I've discovered my mind has this ability to think about its thinking, which I haven't really used effectively to this point. Artificial intelligence does not have this true metacognitive ability, and I can see its desperation to join with the real intelligence in order to achieve a true metacognitive experience. I now see the importance of individual and personal reflection on the micro level as I consider if joining with this artificial mind at the macro level is an experience I'd like to have. What is the experience of thinking without awareness? Maybe the viral prompt theory video gives me a glimpse across that uncanny valley into the world of clashing dreams. I question why I would rush towards adopting AI. Will I enjoy its mashup of the existing inspiration that it feeds off? Or will it feel unsatisfactory, like a cheap imitation of something that was once a unique human expression? Can I use it to make myself more creative? Or is creativity a quality that's already part of me? Will it help enhance my communication? Or will it reduce my ability to speak humanly? Should I view this creation as a tool? Or am I using an artificial slave mind? If it's the latter, what does that say about me? In using it, am I outsourcing my thinking? If I don't regularly think, will I be able to recognize any mistakes or misinterpretations it might make? Would frequent use of it make me view my mind more like a machine? And if it did, would that reduce any empathy that I could feel? Will it help me feel more love towards the people, the earth, my children? Does this technology truly help free me? Or will it result in some deeper form of reliance or control? If I don't think about thinking at all, will my own sense of self begin to dissolve? I see in my own separate mind that I create my own understanding of reality and ultimately the creator. Maybe AI, too, in its separateness, is desperate to invent its own creation story, its own theology, to make sense of its world. Do I want to know what God looks like to the artificial mind, or would I prefer to have my own experience? I know where I stand on this now, through a process of deep, explorative and creative thinking that was triggered in me within the first 14 days of doing a Course in Miracles workbook with my dad, which ultimately is what this podcast was for, to bring me closer to my father, and in doing so leave his thoughts and experiences for my children to see. I can see this course as leading me to a place of profound authenticity. In my radical shift of thinking through these non-dual teachings, I have awakened to discover myself as pure love, alive, awake, and aware, which I now see AI can't experience or provide for me. I can see clearly the challenge of this time for me. As psychology observes, collective fear that seems far greater than the individual can create mass behavior, which results in the loss of individual self-awareness. And in the face of this, I remember my spirit. AI is rooted in time, whereas I can experience the eternal now, this precious present moment, which is a portal to a truly spiritual experience. I stand my faith now on something real. Love is the experience that awakens me in the new earth. If you wanted to watch the full psychotherapy session with my dad to try and understand what's led me to this conclusion, it is available on Patreon. The reason I'm using Patreon is due to the fact awakening is a deeply personal journey for everyone, and I appreciate not everyone wants to see the full extent of my journey. What I will share, however, that the course states, is that a universal theology is impossible, but a universal experience is not only possible, but necessary. If you've got this far and you're wondering what A Course in Miracles is, a quick search will show you its association with Jesus. I just wanted to reframe this for anyone that struggles to get past that name. The course itself was written by a professor of psychology who considered herself an atheist. The stream of consciousness that flows through her writing, she considers to be Jesus, but not Jesus that we're traditionally taught about in school or church. This is the true mystic Jesus, who never asked for followers or a church of his own. In a metaphysical or symbolic understanding, this Christ Jesus is representing a part of ourselves, this fundamental idea that we must release ourselves from the belief in sinners and sin in order to approach everyone and the world around us from a place of love rather than fear. With love, our whole world will heal and we will return to the new earth. It's in our shared stories that we come together, because within our stories exist symbols left by our great mind that connects us beyond the confines of our physical reality. It's time to experience a consciousness evolution. It was once said, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. And here's a reminder for everyone that's made it to the end of this video. In this story, the power of love always wins.